Happy Monday, everyone. Hope you had a good weekend. Welcome back to Weather for Weather Geeks on the second to the last day of March. Temperatures this afternoon are warming up pretty close to average, but boy, the wind really takes a bite out of those temperatures this afternoon, making it feel quite a bit chillier than it actually is. As you can see on the visible satellite this afternoon, a fair amount of sunshine out there, just some puffy fair weather cumulus clouds. But we do have a little weak disturbance or front that's going to push in from the north and west as we go towards the end of the afternoon. And if you've been watching my forecasts from earlier today, I allowed for maybe a stray shower or a sprinkle towards the end of the day. Certainly there's a higher risk of this out towards northwestern PA and into western New York. But as you can see on the HRR, the high resolution rapid refresh here at 5 o'clock, there might be a spritz or something, especially north of I-80 in our viewing area, but certainly the most numerous showers will be over towards Erie, PA, Jamestown, New York, heading over maybe towards Bradford, PA, a couple of hours before sunset. So, especially up in northern Trumbull and Mercer, you might get a stray shower or even just a sprinkle at some point early this evening. For the rest of us, we are dry, and we'll be dry through the rest of the evening. And then as we head through the overnight tonight, here's our next system approaching. 1 o'clock in the morning, rain and perhaps some wet snowflakes pushing into Sandusky and Mansfield, Marion. It'll get into our viewing area probably towards 3 o'clock or so. Here's the rapid refresh model's simulated radar at 3 p.m. Now notice you do have some blues trying to show up here. I think for the first few hours as this gets underway, there could be some mixing with snow or perhaps even just wet snow for a time. Don't think it'll do much sticking because the temperatures overnight mostly above freezing or near freezing. But you might get a little coating on your car tops and that sort of thing. But this will transition over to mostly rain, I think, as we get a little closer to sunrise tomorrow morning. Here's 4 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be dealing with a wet start to our Tuesday, that is for sure. Here's the surface map tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Low pressure over Toledo. Here's a little warm front through here, and especially north of that warm front, there can be some frozen precipitation trying to mix in. But again, for most of us, this will just change over to kind of a chilly rain for the morning, and then it's going to taper off as we get into the afternoon. I think we'll be in the clear by mid-afternoon at the latest, clear of the precipitation tomorrow. But it's going to be a chilly Tuesday, that's for sure. Temperatures will struggle a bit. And then as we get into the day on Wednesday, GFS has this little area of precipitation here. Not sure if I buy that yet. That's kind of a new feature on the models. This is the current GFS. Here's the previous GFS. Notice it didn't have it. Now all of a sudden it has this little appendage of precipitation Wednesday morning. So not sure if I'm buying that yet. But Wednesday should still turn out to be a pretty sunny day with an area of high pressure drifting to our north and to our east. So the afternoon's okay Wednesday. It'll warm up into the 40s, still below average, but not bad. Won't be much wind. That's going to change on Thursday. In fact, everything changes on Thursday. Not only will it be a windier day, but it's going to be a warmer day as well. So that high pressure zone shifts off to our south and east. This is a mild southwest wind that will develop on the backside of that high. As our next front approaches, some showers are going to break out in the afternoon Thursday, but before the rain gets here, it's probably here in most spots by mid-afternoon. Before it gets here, Thursday's not a bad day. But once the rain gets in, be a little bit sluggish to leave. Here's Friday morning at 8 a.m. The front's kind of trying to stall somewhere in here. Might mean that the rain will linger into at least the first part of the day on Friday. Then we get a little break maybe Friday afternoon, Friday evening, before rain could very well return along that old front. A little area of low pressure is going to ride along that front, and so Friday night could turn out to be kind of a damp night. And look at this. Late Friday night into Saturday morning, yes, the GFS changes things over to wet snow across the region. We're onto the fourth day of April here, and talking about possibility of some wet snow. Now, I'm not sure if much of this will stick, but if you took the GFS literally here, someone could get some small accumulations out of this. In fact, check out the GFS snow accumulations. I don't buy this at this point, but the GFS would suggest that someone gets 3-4 inches out of this Friday night into Saturday morning. Stay tuned on that. Not ready to buy it at this point, but something to put on your radar, that's for sure. Now, whatever happens Friday night and early Saturday, the weekend will turn out to be fairly uneventful. For Easter, here's Sunday morning. Heading off to sunrise services, the GFS would suggest that there's a front slipping through. It's chilly, but it's dry, and that'll be the case all day on Sunday. We'll see some sun. It'll be a good-looking day, but it will be chilly. Maybe no higher than the lower and middle 40s at best on Easter Sunday. But as I've been talking about, there's better news in the longer range. Here's the 16-day outlook on the latest GFS ensemble model. Don't take these numbers verbatim, because they're not going to be exactly right, but pay attention to the trends. Here's Thursday, that pretty warm day. Friday, temperatures might fall as we get into the afternoon after a mild morning. And here's Saturday, optimistically 45. That could be optimistic. Sunday, the GFS would suggest it tries to get into the lower 50s. Not sure if it's going to be that warm. I lean more towards the 40s. But you'll notice the trend in the longer range is pretty good. Again, the numbers are not going to be exactly right, but the pattern's going to really start to favor more and more average days or above average days as we head into middle April. That's going to allow true spring to really take hold in many places. This is the 10 to 15 day temperature anomaly outlook, so in other words, difference from average. Notice the big area of above average temperatures in the plain states. Still chilly in the northeast. Chilly in the west for a change. But this warm air, while we're going to be on the fringes of it perhaps, it's going to get in here occasionally, and we're going to notice two things. We're going to notice temperatures rising, and we're also going to notice, maybe not locally, but out across the heart of the country, this will start to become more and more of a severe weather pattern as we go towards mid-month, as these troughs in the west punch into the warm and somewhat humid air in the middle of the country. So severe weather season is going to really start to kick in, I think, mid-month out across the plains. Does that mean anything here? Well, it's too early to say. But we are pretty confident that the middle of the month is going to feature more consistent springtime weather. This is actually pretty much par for the course. Around these parts, we get a few glimpses of spring in March and the first week of April, but usually true spring, where things start blooming, it starts to get consistently mild. In northeast Ohio and western PA, that usually doesn't kick in until mid to even sometimes late April, and this year looks to be no exception. Thank you for watching the Monday Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you on the news tonight. 21 News at 6 and 11. Thank you, as always, for watching Weather Geeks.